Okay, so here is part 3 of how to ethically do high-end selling. So remember, in the first, there's 3 stages, which are connect, contribute, collaborate. And in the last video, I went over the 3 steps for the connect stage. This is all about the contribute stage. You're going to contribute. You're going to give value. You're going to demonstrate value. This is not about doing a presentation. It's not about dangling your stuff, talking about you and how great you are, or the letters behind your name, or your offer at all. Although you'll be dropping hints and leaning towards your stuff because that's what you're here to talk about, whether you're an expert in your topic or a representative for a company or a service or a product or a program. You're still treating them as if they're already a friend and already a paying customer or client. This is advocacy style approach that works very naturally if you facilitate the interaction properly. And I'm showing you how to do this. So there's 3 steps to the contribute stage. And the first one is to empower. Empower them. Meaning literally show them that there's a bridge, an invisible bridge that they hadn't seen, that'll get them across this giant canyon that they've been stuck at, where they want to go to the other side, but they haven't figured out how. So they're spinning around. They don't want to fall off the cliff, but they feel stuck in this area of their life or their business or situation, and they want to know how they can get across. So this is where you empower them. This is not about talking about your product, but it's very related because you're basically describing what needs to happen in order for them to get to the other side of where they want to go. In the previous stage of the conversation, they've told you basically where they want to go because you explored their situation, their wants, their needs, their frustrations, their stresses, and their desires. So they've told you and themselves what they really want. You're showing them an invisible bridge that they hadn't seen before or knew about. This lets them feel like they're off the hook because you're going to be sharing myths, mistakes, secrets, and examples. Even just one of those that I named, or all of them, to help them feel defended and let off the hook, that they're not alone. It's not that they're wrong or bad or stupid. This is a common thing, and you're here to help them see that there's a way for them to solve their problems quickly and easily. And when they see that, see the new possibilities and the potential, and they've changed their perspective, which you've facilitated, they're going to find you very, very valuable because no one else is doing this with them. And you still haven't made an offer or tried to talk about your stuff. They might have asked, and it's okay if you kind of answer that, but you want to segue back to serving them and helping them out right now. Use non sequiturs where you'll kind of turn things back around. You're like, well, I'd love to tell you about that, but first, let's really get into this more, right? So you're empowering them. That's the first step. The second step is to educate. This is where you give some information that's more exact, more precise, more factual, more statistical, that's based on your real-world experience, your knowledge, your education, your skill set, that helps them become informed, right? Not just a pie-in-the-sky idea, but you're giving some facts and details that are real and true and relevant so that they feel like, oh, okay, this makes sense. So you educate them. Now, this might be only for a minute or two, or it might go in depth and take longer. Doesn't matter. But what you're doing is facilitating this natural process to help them be able to see that there's a bridge to get across the canyon and to be able to go over that, and that you're the answer, you're the solution. You're the one and only solution, really, okay? There's no script to this either. This is about principles and practices that you're facilitating where you're demonstrating value and connection and connecting with them so that they naturally want to buy your services or your product or your program. Okay, so you don't need a script. Just follow the guidelines and facilitate these stages and steps the way you normally would with a friend who's coming to you for help. Be yourself. Be professional. Be real. Be confident. But be real. Okay? And then the third step is to envision, meaning you're going to help them envision 2 different futures. One is their dream come true, meaning hypothetically, metaphorically, you're going to help them imagine the future where they've crossed this bridge and gotten to the other side of the canyon that they've been stuck at, and the benefits that they'll personally experience, meaning their outcomes. Not just the goal that they want to accomplish, but the results of the goal. What does it mean for them internally, emotionally, and circumstantially? What's it mean for their relationships, for their energy, for their self-confidence, for their finances, for whatever it is you're specializing in and offering and helping them with? It's going to have an impact and a good influence on every area of their lives, really, right? So you're going to help them imagine that dream come true. This is highly motivational and valuable. But guess what? There's a second future you're going to help them imagine and envision, which is actually more motivational. Because as human beings, we all tend to be more motivated to avoid pain and failure and defeat and embarrassment and shame and rejection and being overpowered and so on and so forth. We actually value and are motivated more to avoid that stuff than actually to get the rewards and the results that we could. So you want to focus a little bit more on the nightmare coming true, meaning they stay stuck or they fall off the cliff or they don't make much progress and it's been X amount of time, and they can then look back from that future point where they're like, oh man, that would suck. I couldn't stand it if a year from now I'm still in the same place. And they'll tell themselves what'll be happening. You're asking questions and facilitating this, but they'll be telling themselves all the yucky, nasty crap and the motivating reasons why they should do something about it. And the whole time, you're still deepening the trust and rapport and expertise that you have because you're demonstrating it rather than telling them. Okay? So those 3 steps are, again, to empower, educate, and envision. And again, this is obviously an intro video series, so there's much more to this and how to facilitate it, but I want to give you a great idea on how this works, and you can start using it right away. Maybe it's just helping you make a little tweak or a tune-up or an overhaul and repair to your sales approach and your sales conversations. So in the next video, I'll be talking about the 3rd stage, which is all about how to collaborate with them. Okay? So check that out. See you in just a minute.